Thorn Creek Homestead. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of what I take and do to get ready for winter with my tractors. I've already washed this tractor and I've been over the tractor and checking for oil leaks, checking hydraulic leaks. I do have a couple little hydraulic leaks. I do have an oil leak, a fuel oil leak, so I need to fix that. I've already ordered the parts for it, just wait for them to come in so I can fix that. It's a diesel tractor. It's a Kubota L4200. I use it to bale with and to mow with or to rake with. I haven't mowed with it yet, but I'm going to try the mower on it next year. So anyways, it is a 42 horsepower tractor. It works good for what I've been using it for. I'm going to kind of try a few things different and try to mow with it this year and see how that works. Anyways, I'll tell you, this winter's coming on, so I'm kind of getting things ready for that, as well as I'm getting ready for springtime. I'll go through and check the oil on it, check the antifreeze on it, to say check for leaks. I'm going to clean it up. A lot of you don't think too much about cleaning up, but these tractors need to be cleaned up. They need to be, and while you're cleaning them up, then you go through them. You need to check and make sure that everything is loose, that there's nothing froze up on it, it's going to give me any problems. So I check over the tractor just to make sure. Just to get things ready for this coming year, but I'm starting in a little early right now. It's kind of a miserable day outside today with rain and wind, and it's cool. So I thought today would be a good day to take and start that. So anyways, I'll take you with me if I go through this, and I'll talk to you as I go, and we'll kind of discuss it, and you get an idea about what I'm up to. Okay, I've already started a lot of this, and I was talking to you, and you couldn't hear because my microphone shut off. So you need to take and make sure you check your lights on these tractors and go through them. They're kind of a good thing to have them working, as well as for you as for everybody else that's on the road. It's not an easy task to take and do, checking all these things, but if you check them, you make sure that everything works. You're ready for next year. If you take it down the road, you turn your lights on. I turn my emergency flashers on and my lights, so I go through and check everything and make sure it's all working. So it gives me a chance to check things over. I get prepared for next year. I know a lot of you leave your tractor sitting outside, and it's not good for a lot of it, but you don't have a place to put them at, so you do the next best thing and check your tractors over, get them ready. I got this old tractor a few years ago, and I bought it because it needed work done to it. So I got it fixed up, and been pretty happy with it. Being 42 horsepower, it does a lot of work for me. Saves me a lot of headaches. I have another tractor also. It's got a front end loader on it, and I noticed that a lot of you talk about what kind of tractor to get and what you need. One of the biggest things that I take and use is that front end loader. I haul stuff with it. I spread stone with it, dirt. It's nice to have a clean tractor, I can tell you, because I've been in a lot of tractors over my years. Some of them are good, some of them are filthy. They just run them. If you keep them cleaned up, you go over them, you find so much with them that can be done that you may need to fix or get fixed if you can't fix it. I suggest that everybody learn how to fix a tractor. Up to a point. There's a lot of things you can't do, but there are a lot of things you can do. These tractors are noted to have problems, so it's nice to be able to go through your tractors and check them, clean them, and while you're cleaning, you kind of look them over. It will save you a lot of headaches down the road. I just use a car wash is what I use to wash the tractor with. It takes me, maybe a half, 3/4 of an hour to clean the tractor up, to wash it. It just gives it kind of a quick promise and a lick, because, not perfect, but at least it's clean and straightened up. And that gives me a chance to look the tractor over and make sure that everything is working and I don't have any problems. Because you sure don't want to be out in the field or cleaning your driveway out and break down. I've been there and done that because I didn't pay that much attention to it and thought, it'll last. Well, the time you think it's not going to break is when it's going to break. Like I say, you don't want to be broke down when you need it the worst. So if you've got a leak or you've got something that needs to be fixed, now's the time to take and do it. Things slow down, you're not in the garden, you're not outside having to work with them. You can go through them and give them a good clean up and check them over. You can buy a brand new tractor and you still got to take care of them. Kind of like your animals. You got to feed them, keep them alive. You got to take care of these tractors, keep them alive. If you're going to buy a tractor and you can afford it, get a little bit bigger tractor than what you need. If you think you need a 30 horsepower, get a 40 horsepower. If you're going to bale hay, you're going to have something that's 60 to 70 horsepower, depending on what you're doing, if you're running around bale. If you're just baling, my little 40 horsepower does fine just baling it. It doesn't take too long to get all this stuff cleaned up. It's kind of why I'm taking you with me today, so you can see what I have to take and do, then you know what can be done, short period of time. Like I say, you got to take care of this stuff. The way they cost as much as a tractor costs, whether it's a used one, an old one, or new one, or whatever. What you can afford, it's not cheap. So if you keep your tractors up, then you don't have to worry about them breaking down. Your chances are less. They'll still break down when you need them, probably the worst, but at least you know that you're doing your best to take care of it. Okay, we're in pretty good shape as far as cleaning goes. I was going to do this a while back, and I'll get them show you. I'm going to show you what was wrong with my tractor. One of the things that was wrong with it. You glow these up to get your tractor started. So, anyways, see if I can find one of them here that the. Now there's one. This is what it should look like. Should have a tip on it, but it should be rounded. This is what I took out. You can see where it's burnt out on the end. Well, we couldn't get the tractor started. It was hard to get it started. It would start, but it was hard to start. So this was part of the problem. The glow plugs were burnt out on it. So they don't last forever, and it happens. But that was part of the problem, and the other problem was there's a relay on it to glow those plugs. It's electronic. And I changed it from electronic timer to a manual timer. So when I push the button in, which I added to it, I count to 5 seconds, release it, I can fire it right up. But without that being on there, it wouldn't fire. I did buy the parts to fix it with. That didn't solve the problem, so I'm not sure where the problem was at, but I did some checking, and you can do this also. You can look, and you can manually push that button in and warm those glow plugs up to get it started with. Now, if it's real cold and your tractor's sitting outside in a diesel, you can glow it twice. And that will warm it enough to get it fired off if the glow plugs are working. If they're hard to start, usually the first thing I look at is glow plugs. I'll check them for voltage first. You know, I use the voltmeter, go to the top of the glow plug, ground the wire, turn it on, and see if it actually is putting power to it. If it's putting power to it, then I can go to my glow plugs and say, that's probably the problem. Unless your tractor's wore out, if your tractor's real bad and it's having problems, it will be hard to start. Glow plugs won't do you much good. But you'll know that because of the way it runs and the way it sounds. Okay, we're going to check some lights now and see if our lights work. Okay, all our lights work. We're all good there. Okay, I think that'll kind of take care of it there. As you can see, I do have some leaks. Very small leaks. And I know where that one's coming from. So that one I need to get a seal for. And then this one over here is coming from my fuel filter. And then I have another one back here that's coming from the control. The raise and lower things. So I've ordered a fuel filter bowl. I can stop that up. It looks worse than it is. I'll just take you around and give you a little look here real quick. What I've been doing. So this has been washed and it's been waxed. And I think we're let me know if you'd like to see some other things. I've got lawnmowers here I got to take and get ready for next year. And be sharpening the blades and changing oil on them. If there's anything that I can take and do to take and help, be glad to take and do it. It's nice sometimes to see how other people do things, but this is what I take and do. And say it takes me about, altogether I probably got about 4 hours between washing it, checking it over, waxing it, cleaning the windows. So it doesn't take that long to take and do it, but it is time consuming, but at least I know where I'm at, and I know that I'm ready for whatever comes, and hopefully nothing happens that I have breakdowns or any problems. One thing I didn't tell you is that make sure you clean out that radiator on these things. Mine has a screen over the face of it. I just have to take and clean it off. But clean out that radiator, especially if you've been out in the fields with it, as they will plug up. But we'll check it over and fire it up here in a little bit. We'll see where we're at with it. Well, we got it all cleaned up, so I think we're ready for whatever's to come. I checked the antifreeze. I'm good down about 30 below. If it's any colder than that, I'll stay in the house. It's too cold for me to be out there. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. If you need some more information, I'll be glad to help you with whatever I can take and help you with. I'm not a mechanic, and not anymore anyways, but I do my share of wrenching. So anyways, we'll catch y'all later. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. We'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.